All right, cool. Mic check. Mic check. Looks good. Awesome. So as you can see, hmm, markets opened up here and we are flying right now. Trump is speaking literally live at this very moment. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with that. We have news at 10 a.m. So I'm just gonna chill until like maybe 5 minutes after, 10 minutes after 10 a.m. and see what happens. I was very interested in buys down here, but as you can see, there was no retest. Once we broke through this down close candle here, you got a very subtle retest here, and then price expands very quickly. So basically, it takes off without me. I wasn't even on stream yet, so didn't want to rush into a position, but you can see that this down close candle here gets flipped. We retested a few times, maybe once here, and then takes off. We left behind some fair value gaps in this area. So I'll be watching these gaps here. And then we have some levels up above that I want to see price react to. And that's where price is driving into now. We have this 4-hour level here. All right. And price is really ripping here. So I wonder if it would have given an entry. Let's see. So this candle right here close. Actually, no, there's no entry because I would have wanted to see this candle close a 30-minute rejection from this level, leaving a setup behind, similar to what it's doing now, but now it's crashing into my target. So I'll wait for, we have orange news at 10 a.m. So I'm just gonna sit back here for the next 2 or 3 minutes and then go from there. No trades so far. Hopefully today offers something clean. All right, nice. So we are officially past 10 a.m. Checking the higher time frame here. See what price really has going on. All of the structures left behind, right? So everything that I would look to trade from is down here. So obviously there's nothing for me to do while price is up here. Sit back, see if we get this pullback down into this area below. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see which one's stronger today. We have this first 15-minute candle here. And as you can see, NASDAQ was a little bit weaker. So with that being said, ES will be stronger today for me during this New York session. All right, so I would be looking for this move over here. And from there, we get to see what happens. So while we wait, let's take a look at this higher time frame. See what's going on the I don't know why it won't let me change my trading hours. I want to see the I wonder why it does that. I want to see the RTH versus the electronic trading hours. I feel like it was always down here. I haven't looked at it in a while. Maybe it moved. But let's see what's going on the lower time frame here. We got a nice closure here. This is the first candle of this gap. First time we're hitting this 4-hour level. You're seeing a bit of retracement, but nothing major. See the 1 minute. See what we got going on up here. We got this 1 minute fair value gap being filled. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm chilling. I would like for it to go lower. There's a 5-minute gap up here. But you want to use the fair value gap that's at a discount naturally, right? And this initial fair value gap is always going to be my favorite. You know, it won't get filled every time. But you'd be safer just waiting for that to fill. This upper gap is holding. Let's see. Is there any bearish gap? No. Yeah, so there's not even. Okay, so you got a lower time frame bearish gap here. Don't really see much anywhere else. So yeah, I wouldn't even think about trading this. If anything, maybe you get like a 5-minute gap fill. All right, 5-minute gap fill with a 1 minute bearish drive where you get a bearish gap similar to this, you know, and then you get a flip of that gap. Maybe you can consider higher, but at the same time, I don't want to get caught buying at the top here unless it's very, very obvious that price doesn't want to go lower. And that becomes more obvious with time, right? Right now, I don't feel like we've given it enough time. Elijah. Right. So at this point, you can see crypto is running. Like, where is price running to? That's the question. That's the question. 4 hour chart. Boom, boom. So as always, I like to pay attention to the higher time frame wick area, simply because that's where the candle opened and that's where all the selling pressure began. So as price trades back into these highs here, naturally you're going to see some sort of reaction to the downside. And you want to know if that's where price is going to start turning. Cryptos going higher, gold and everything else going lower. That's really nice to see. You want to see, honestly, you want to see some sort of inverse correlation these days, because people are running to gold and silver when the markets are shaky or uncertain. So when the markets are shaky and uncertain, you should see these go higher, and then you should see NASDAQ go lower. That helps a lot, but it's not always like that, right? But here you can see we're going lower. Let's see if there was any indication of lower here. I would say yes. This first engulfing candle here would have been the first signal, 9:30. Let's see, yeah, 9:30. Maybe on the hourly, get some sort of. Silver didn't have much to offer. Yeah, silver didn't offer much. Gold was very clean though. If you go to 9:30, let's look at the structure inside of this close 1 minute chart. 9:30, you should see some up close candles start this entire move lower. 9:30. All right, so up close candles, where are you? I think 9:30 was the time it closed, right? So 9 a.m. to 9:30, yeah. So from 9 a.m. to 9:30, where are those up close candles? All right, here goes one right here. You see how easy it is to spot these? How do I know? Because when we close underneath this candle, we try to get back above it and clearly reject. So this is where the sell began. And if you drag this over and you wait for a retest, there it is. Spot on. This is a beautiful short, right? So right here, once 9:30 hits, you put a marker and you say, all right, after 9:30, I want to see the new 30-minute candle retest this level. And once we get that retest, I'm looking for some sort of break lower. And this is where your entry model pretty much takes over. Like, what do you need to see? Could you get in on an inversion, a very simple inversion? You could there. That's if you're an inversion trader. I'll never be something that simple. Maybe you can go with a new change in the state. But typically for me, I like to wait for price to offer a break and then try to go higher and break again. So like something like this, where we break this low, try to go higher, and then we finally break again. Something like that would be appropriate for gold, if you ask me. And then you short it like something like that. Stop above that high up there. And it's gold, so maybe gold runs to London's low here. 1.5. Really nice. All right, that's exactly what I'll be looking for here. Some sort of strong rejection that gives a clean area of interest, and then you wait for a new 30-minute candle to confirm that area of interest and then give it a shot. Very simple. Helps keep things clean, right? That's why this entire year, every single trade we've taken has been very clean, very straightforward. And don't really have time for much else, right? So let's look again here. What's going on? All right, so we're starting to see some hesitation off of the opening price here, right? So this candle, I'm sorry, not opening, closing price. This 9:30 candle closed here, which I marked off with this red line. And then I want to see how price responds to this area. Also, we have this engulfing candle up here, which could be the draw, right? You see the resistance from this area already. Also, another red line here, which you could draw a shadow to include the wick, midnight price, all of that. You see the selling pressure there. You see the selling pressure here. So this could be your draw. Price could continue higher until it hits that level. So something like that, or something like this, where we get a deeper pullback before going into that zone. 5 minutes left in this 30-minute candle. It's looking like price is going to hold this upper half here, at least for the time being. So what you do is you'll go down here and you'll say, all right, what down close candle is giving price support here? It looks like it could be this one here. Yeah, I would say it could be this one here. You got this down close candle. We break it, pull right back into it, and price is struggling to get beneath it. Nice, beautiful wicks in this area. So that'll be my area of interest for higher. Only if, you know, the new 30-minute candle, so it's 10:25. I'll wait for 10:30. See if the new 30-minute candle can offer a drive into this zone and then hold it. All we know is we have to wait, right? Because price could easily break through here. Or it could respect it, obviously, and then we just try the buys back up to this level here. Okay, yeah, and we're rejecting this 2 a.m. price here, which tried to use itself as support at one point. Now it's using it as resistance. And we're hitting this level right on the spot here. Make this a 4-hour level. And see what happens here. So notice we have immediate rejection from there. This rejection right here should break structure if we're bearish. But if this pullback here fails to break structure, that's telling me, yeah, we're probably going to go continue higher. Because if you notice here, right, we had this break underneath it. The first time we pushed into it, price fails to break structure, telling you that if you get a bullish reaction here, you should take it higher to the next level. And then finally here, we break structure, fail to make a new high, break structure again. The downtrend was activated underneath this price point. Then you get your trend from there. Look at some more levels here. Another one, we hit this price point here, fail to break lower. You get an internal sweep instead. And then you break higher, telling you that price should continue higher. All right, back to this level here, breaking structure. And then boom, we take out that previous daily low. And look at how price puts in this beautiful, beautiful curve here, triple bottom almost. Quasimodo. For those of you who don't know, the quasi is a powerful, well-known reversal pattern. It's basically 3 drives. You get 1 drive here, you get another drive in the middle, and then you get 1 more drive before you break through the resistance that was holding price down. And then you take the buys above here. This pattern takes forever, but it's definitely notorious. But all that to say, I want to see how this new 30-minute candle opens, and I love how 10 a.m. is behaving here. We might have even some SMT in this area. Yeah, notice how, let's go to like the 15-minute, see which candles got swept. Maybe 5-minute. Is there any SMT? No, I don't actually see any SMT. Maybe on the lower time frame, but not that serious. Yeah, there actually is no SMT in this level. pure uptrend right now. Beautiful reaction. I don't think I found that down close candle on here. Okay, yeah, this is the down close candle here. Potentially even this one. Same exact candle that started the reject for ES. So that's a beautiful confluence there. You see price drive right back into it and what's happening. Beautiful reaction out of it. You could almost buy that. The only reason I don't want to buy it is because we're about to open a new 30-minute candle. So if you guys know me well enough, you should understand that I like to wait for a new 30-minute opportunity just to be safe, because I'm sure you guys have seen it time and time again. Let's go find an example. Yeah, here's a good example. One 30-minute candle closes strong and bullish. The very next 30-minute candle destroys all of that bullish structure in there. So whoever thought they were just going to buy and hold got wrecked. And I don't want to be that person, right? So just because this candle is bullish does not mean or guarantee the next candle will be the same. So with this type of move here, you have to wait for this candle to close and then pay attention to structure as it gets retested. All right, so here we go. We're about to see what happens here. I'm going to zoom in on ES. All right, nice. So here we go. Question of the next 30 minutes is going to be, does a 1030 candle pull back first before going higher? Or, does price push into this bearish zone without retesting to go lower? It looks like we are going to end up looking for shorts here based on this profile, right? When you see price open a new 30-minute candle, you're essentially trading the power of 3, right? And what you're looking for is, one second. All right. So yeah, once we see, checking out the 30-minute game plan, and you see that new 30-minute candle open higher, you're thinking about the power of 3, which is essentially a concept that tells you the real move isn't going to happen first most times, right? What's going to happen is some sort of fake out or accumulation. So what I'm doing now is I'll wait now that 1030 is offering some sort of move. We have structure down below, but you'll notice at 1030 price is starting to push into bearish structure instead, which is, if you look above here, we have this bearish fair value gap. We have this bearish wick inside of this gap, which has shown a lot of bearish pressure, right? So now we're essentially overextending, right? Notice we just shoot straight up. We're overextending into bearish territory. So this is where you're probably going to see some sort of bearish reaction. If price doesn't show any bearish reaction, then there's nothing for me to do, right? Sit back, relax. But there's multiple time frames offering bearish areas of interest. For one, I like this 2 a.m. price here. I like how we're breaking that very strongly. That's a good sign for higher. The next runner-up will be midnight price in this wick area here. See how price responds in here. But at the moment, it really looks like whatever Trump is talking about, he's still live. He's still live over at the World Economic Forum. So turns out so far, gold should be still shorting, right? Gold starting to find some resistance down in this area, but I think it probably goes down a lot lower. I would love, like I was talking about earlier, I would love for that inverse correlation to start to play out where you can start looking for shorts on gold whenever NASDAQ starts looking very bullish. Like today's a good example. You get temporary shorts, not massive shorts, right? It's not that many points, but you can see the bear structure kick in. And so far it's holding up. Crypto should be very bullish as well. I would love for that correlation to be back in action. Last year, a few times, we caught a few really, really big moves by correlating crypto, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are like the two front runners for me in crypto. So if we go higher time frame, what are we looking at over here? Higher 1 hour, maybe. What I'm looking for is when price feels some sort of imbalance. So maybe on the lower time frame. All right, yeah. So you got this gap fill here. You see price already show nice body rejection from this level. So that's something that you should be paying attention to. Very, very simple, right? And then now you get a nice wick off of that level. That's already giving you signs that price could be showing weakness. It's just all about how price responds to the structure that was printed, right? So now you have this nice move lower. Where's your up close candle? There it is. So anything under here is what you want to see for shorts. And then from there, you give price a chance to retest it with a new 30-minute open. So you'll get a chance to say, all right, we have a new 30-minute candle. Are we going to drive into this area, put a wick in, maybe manipulate, and then break structure for me to try a short back down here somewhere? That's all you're looking for. Because 9 times out of 10, when you get the clean setups, that's all that's happening. You're getting a 30-minute drive into an area of interest, reject. Next 30-minute candle opens. Like I could show you a million examples, right, of how the reversals pretty much shape out. Here's a great example here. You drive into a 30-minute bullish area of interest, whatever it may be. You start to show rejection. From there, you're going to get a lower time frame profile that gets retested multiple times. So let's go 2 minute, zoom down into here. With this wick closure at 5:30, let's say 6 o'clock, you can see that literally this down close candle is what starts to support price. Right? So with this down close candle here, I'm watching this to see, all right, how does this survive a retest? Do we get a break of structure yet? No breaks in structure, right? Price drives into here and it's just accumulating. Eventually, you're going to start seeing price break out. All right, you get a move underneath here, but who cares, because you're not bearish until price starts breaking out of this 30-minute wick. All right, and then you get a nice break of structure here. It doesn't pull back, so you probably missed this. But if you're just someone who buys breakouts overnight, just give it a chance, right? That's the name of the game. Just give your trade idea a chance, because you never know. If you're bullish, buy it here, stop underneath here. Like, all right, that's a decent area. If we're bullish, maybe I can catch 1R. You know what I mean? So I like this rejection though. Let's check on ES. ES still chilling here. Pushing through these previous 30-minute wicks, which is very strong, good sign of strength. Now we're pushing into very bearish territory once again. We still have 20 minutes left in this 30-minute candle. So as I mentioned, right, I don't really want to get involved unless price offers a pullback to retest these areas here where I'm looking to go long. Beautiful 30-minute candle structure here from 10 a.m. Look how long it took price to build this, right? This is why I like the 30-minute chart. From 10 a.m. up until 10:30, all the bullish structure was complete. You have this higher low, higher high, higher low, and then right at 10:30, it was done. Price prints this candle here. And as you can see, there's no pullback to retest any of this structure. So there's no reason for me to buy that, right? The fact that price opened up at 10:30 and decided it didn't want to retest is a bearish signature. Price will expand into some sort of bearish territory and then literally start to break down and trade back down either to here or lower, right? So decent price action so far. I like the volume. I just don't like that price is one-sided right now with no real fair opportunities so far to get involved. All right. So I'm going to step away and just wait to see if we get some sort of rejection pattern or rejection setup around this area here. NASDAQ should be hitting that area. Nice. So NASDAQ is taking the lead. Oh my goodness. NASDAQ takes all those highs. Let's see what the higher time frame looks like in this area. All right, yeah. So when this candle closes, this is going to be, we'll probably get shorts off of this candle closure. That would be ideal, right? Why? Because look at what we're doing over here. We're pushing into unmitigated territory. And you guys know by now that if you see an unmitigated gap, you should expect price to push in it and reverse. We don't know how far it will reverse, right? But you know that 9 times out of 10, you get at least some sort of rejection, whether it just rejects, slightly and then absorbs it to continue through it, or you get a beautiful sell. And then rarely will you see price just rip right through it. It happens. But when it does that, it just literally pushes into another area and then sells from that area. So being that this is a gap right underneath this weekly open, I would say price probably wants to fill this gap completely and maybe reject somewhere up inside the weekly like that. Right. But there's a few ways it could play out. It could fill this gap first, pull back to retest the bullish structure, then get up into here and do something like that, But overall, I am bearish. I've been saying it for a while now. Once we took out all-time highs on ES, I love the way price reacted. If you take a look, ES made all-time highs literally a week or two ago. If that, this all-time high was made last week, Tuesday, right? So when we make all-time highs, look at what happens. Price immediately collapses. And then you pair that with the fact that gold continues making all-time highs. We're at $48,000 per ounce on gold. Silver is very strong as well. I think this is the beginning of a very, very sharp downtrend in our markets. So I'm looking forward to more short opportunities. The short yesterday, I remember watching this later on in the day, thinking that this could sell off very, 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 very strongly, right? So same thing happened here, right? Where we were trading yesterday, I bought this move here. We called the bottom of this move. How did I understand price wanted higher? It was simply because of how price is responding to these bullish areas inside of bearish territory, right? We filled in these gaps during pre-market. we reject, like I mentioned, right? You want to see some sort of rejection out of a gap that gives you a chance to analyze what's really going on. We push into it. I'm expecting a rejection. If we didn't reject here, I would have been expecting a rejection here. Bearish gaps are meant for rejection. Drill that into your brain, right? If you see price just rip through a bearish gap, ignore it. Go find another bearish gap and wait for rejection, because typically that's where the moves start to develop. So you see price start to reject. I want to know, does price reject and break structure, or does price reject and continue higher? So when price started to continue higher here, we open up 930. All right. I want to know how price is responding to those previous bullish candles. And you saw it. You saw price drive into this previous 30-minute candle right here at 930, fail to go lower, push higher. All I need to know is, can this next 30-minute candle open up, drive into this same area and show bullish rejections? If so, I'm buying it and I'm targeting the highs, or I'm targeting this gap up above, because clearly this gap isn't the gap that's going to give the sell-off. So I'm going to buy it up into this gap, possibly even buy it up until midnight, right? Midnight is a beautiful target. If it's right next to your TP, you should just target midnight. 9 times out of 10, price is going to retest that. And then you saw price respond off of midnight, respond off of this bearish engulfing, respond very obviously with bearish structure. And then if you zoom into this candle, I'm sure you will see a bearish profile, the same profile that we just saw on gold. Let's go ahead and take a look. This was at 10:30 a.m., right? So if you're really bearish, I would say you could start looking for shorts right now, or you could wait for price to start breaking through these 30-minute candle bodies and then short down here somewhere to be safe, right? For me, it all depends on what it looks like inside of this 30-minute candle. If it's a clean setup, I'll just take it, right? You'll start seeing that literally at the top of that wick, you'll see some sort of up close candle create the beautiful resistance. There it is. This up close candle, we close underneath it. Notice we are never able to get back above it. That's your POI. This candle closes at 11 a.m. So now all you're doing is at 11 a.m. you say, all right, let's mark off 11 a.m. The same thing we're doing right now, right? You mark off 11 a.m. and you say, I want to see 11 a.m. drive into this red zone here. If we get any sort of legitimate break of structure, I'm looking for a short. And price pushes up at 11:11, slams, breaks these lows, right? Now that these lows are broken and you see what time it is, you say, all right, this candle it's 11:30. We break structure at 11:30. Let's see if this next 30-minute candle can give me the final say so for an entry. All I need is another bearish rejection from here. So you see how you play the game of time with structure, right? You already got your bearish confirmation here with this break of structure. But because when you were ready to enter, you could have bought it. I mean, you could have shorted here, like this bearish gap here, something like that, right? But why would I do that when I know that a new 30-minute candle is opening 4 minutes from now? I should wait, because a new 30-minute candle is way more likely to trade opposite before it goes to deliver. So here goes your opposite move, 8 minutes, 9 minutes into that candle, and then you start seeing this pressure. This is where you short, stop above here, find a timestamp down below. Here goes your timestamp, which would be, I think that's a 4-hour price, 10 a.m. price or something. Yep, 10 a.m. price exactly. And because you don't want to be greedy, I don't want to be greedy. I'm okay with this. This is 11 points for 14 points, 12 points for 14 points. That's free, right? And eventually, like I said, once price starts showing that it's ready to start truly running away, then you can start targeting, like, all right, what's down here? We might have some London low or some Asia low. You know what I mean? This is the type of price action where it's like, okay, yeah, the past few days, price has been expanding. When I get my confirmations, price has been running. This is where you might hold one, or you might hold a runner, right? But to start off the year, I would say it's in your best interest to just take 1-hour trades, stack up your portfolio, stack some wins. And then as you start building that buffer, now you have the luxury to be like, okay, today I might want to actually hold it for this low. There's a bunch of equal lows here, right? But lately it just hasn't been. And then this was the buy, right? The buy was the same type of deal. The buy was 10 a.m. push lower. Once we got a closure above here with this massive candle, and I realized that okay, it's only 10:20, so for the next 10 minutes, price could run. Understanding that this 30-minute candle already opened lower, right? So when we flip bullish, it's nowhere. We have 10 minutes until the next 30-minute candle. So I'm thinking the chances of price pulling back here are very low because we already opened lower. We're about to be at the end of that candle. So I can just do something like this, 13 for 13, knowing that the target that I want to see hit is up here. I already had this level marked out, right? So if I'm truly trusting this, I could go and target this midnight price. But because like I said, it's the beginning of the year, I'm okay with 1R for now. I'll just take my 1R, and this is the entry I caught yesterday. Just playing the clock plus structure, right? Entries are going to be slightly different depending on what structure is giving you at what time it gave you, right? Those two things are the best variables because it helps you to customize your trade, and you're not pattern trading. You know what I mean? Like you're not just sitting here like, oh, if we push down and invert this gap, I'm gonna buy, right? I'm not doing that. Even though this is not a bad trade, it's just you're falling victim to the clock. The clock is always trying to make its move, right? So if you see here, it's only 10 a.m. and then we open lower, you're like, bro, I want to see price actually break something, right? Breaking this gap does not break structure. We sweep here, we break this gap. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. But we sweep this low and break this high. Now, this high put in a low, this is clearly a manipulation type of move. Everyone knows this ICT pattern, right? Anytime price puts in a high, takes out a low, and then flips aggressively, that's your signature that price may try to run. And then I'd rather trade that than that, right? So hopefully we get this short, man. But it doesn't look like price is showing any rejection yet. So just give it time. Like I don't expect to catch a trade every day. I think we have caught a trade every day this year. Maybe one day I don't know. But for the most part, every day we've caught a trade. So I wouldn't even be bothered. You know, if price decides not to offer any pullbacks today and it just runs higher, so be it. So be it. So yeah, this is pretty clean. This is pretty clean from a bullish perspective. I would want to see silver and gold just start dumping as well. Maybe even push back to the weekly open here. Right? You can see the same profile, right? You see NASDAQ gap higher, offer a beautiful bullish area. I'm sorry, bearish area. Let's go look at it. Right? We gap lower off of this bearish area, and now we're pushing back into it. And then you have gold or silver over here, gap higher, weekly open underneath. This should be your draw, right? Especially when you see a ton of accumulation. Like, all right, if we're accumulating way up here, chances are we're probably going to go lower. You know what I mean? So we will see, man. I would love to see some rejection from this level here. There we go. Give this candle 6 more minutes. I'll check back at exactly 10:30. I'm sorry, 11. Once this 10:30 candle closes, and I'll see. Here, let's erase all of this. We'll get to see what happens here, but so far, very clean year. Very clean. We can start to settle in here. Like, I was looking back through all of my trades so far this year, and I was very impressed. So that's important for me personally, because I just want to truly trust the process, right? So losses are part of the process, but it's different. It's a different feel, right? When you lose a trade that you're comfortable with versus losing a trade that you weren't comfortable with. It's two completely different environments. And I'd like to be in the position where if I lost a trade, I was completely comfortable with that trade and I could step into the next trading day, repeat the same exact process with no hesitation. This is crazy. It did offer you a slight move here, right? But it was just so early. That was it though. You can see it, right? Let's go back and look. That was the only chance you got to buy this. All right. So what happens? We, yeah, you literally, you literally had to be up early to catch this trade. Maybe that's the play. Next time Trump speaks at 8:30, you need to be up earlier because the move is going to happen early. So you see this this bullish candle. Price rejects this bullish candle body beautifully here. So that's the first bullish indication. But once the market opens, right, and you see that 9:30 is rejecting bullish structure as well, this area right here starts to become your point of interest. And then you push up into here. Once this candle closed at 9:30, you look inside this candle here for some sort of structure. It's crazy. That looks like a trade. But so here you say 9:30, we closed up here. And then now I'm looking at this area for some type of structure, right? So from 9 to 9:30, where's down close candle that is going to cause some sort of ruckus? So here it is. This is your down close candle. Down close candle. It wasn't retested until the candle pretty much closed. So now when you retest it, you see price find support here, but you don't really know that it's going bullish until you take this low. The same thing we just saw, right? You wait for price to take this low and then break. You could buy this. And I was saying that, right? I know you guys remember. I was like, I would buy this if it wasn't so early. But this is your trade. And look at how far it runs. TP would have been 1R for if I were in this position, right? But in my eyes, I would say I had all this area highlighted, right? I've already identified this as a bullish area. I don't even need to re-annotate. There you go. But my game plan was for simply to see 10 a.m. open, right? And then retest, show me that it really was bullish, break structure again. I'm buying that every single time. And, maybe take it up here if we already hit that level, blah, blah, blah. But so that was game plan number one. But when you see price, all right, doesn't pull back, there's not really much for you to do there other than zoom out and find that next area of interest. So I love these body rejections here. So now that we're pushing through this high, I'm going to highlight this right here. See how price responds off of this. We get a nice wick down off of this. I will be looking for short. And then also look at this, right? You see this previous weekly low. This was beautiful support. The past two times it was hit. We get a strong close above here, that's bullish, right? Now you start to think, all right, price may be trying to flip that weekly profile. We have the weekly open here. We traded Monday underneath, Tuesday underneath, and here we are on Wednesday. Dun, 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 we might be flipping. And if Wednesday can flip, that means Thursday and Friday should continue bullish. Maybe fill in this entire gap here, right? You got another area of resistance sitting here, right? If you look at the 30-minute chart, I'm telling you, it cleans up so much as far as where price is going, where price is rejecting, and when you should be getting ready for a trade. So if price gets into this area, for example, and then wicks off of this area, you already know I'm looking for a short, especially if price overextends into there and then you catch a beautiful short and then it's, on to the next day. But if you're still on the charts, good patience. If you haven't taken any trades, even better patience. Let's see if the chat caught anything. Cool. So I'm looking in the top of this move here, this upper wick, to see if there's any clear bullish candle that can serve as the up close candle. But so far, there was pure accumulation. Yeah, pure accumulation. Unless you get something like maybe one of these up close candles could start the move. But right now, still nothing. This 30-minute candle closed with a tiny wick, but as you can see in that wick, there is no structure for me to trade off of. So that's that. Um, we are forming bullish points of interest down below now. So we literally have one, two wide open fair value gaps. Should be an hourly gap as well. So that right there has to be of some significance, right? So I'll mark that off. Maybe price gets down into here. That's going to be FEG liquidity. And over here as well. Start erasing some of these higher time frame levels that have been broken. Clean up the chart. Great patience, great analysis. You can see when price is weak and you can see when price is strong, right? That's what you should be able to do as a trader. If you can't identify weakness and strength, you need to focus on that part, right? Once you identify if the market is weak or strong, you can use whatever entry model you want to use. Just back test it, make sure it has a good execution, win rate. Make sure it's simple. Do not accept a complicated entry model. Make sure you get it. Make sure it fits your personality, and then boom, you can trade. Like it's that simple. But the problem with a lot of traders nowadays is everybody's like a pattern trader. They're looking for a pattern, but the pattern means absolutely nothing half the time. Like 50% of the time, that pattern is a banger and you get really good trades. But then the other half of the time, it's the same exact pattern getting exposed, right? So don't settle for patterns, right? All you're looking for is specific reactions. And reactions are going to be slightly different each and every time. That's why, like, a lot of my trades, it's like, it's funny. When I go back and look, I'll be like, bro, how did I catch this trade? And then I'll start putting myself in the moment again, like back test that session. And you can start to see, okay, it's because of how price is reacting certain levels. I could see that price was strong, or I could see that price was weak. So you give a chance on the short or the buy based on that, and you're gonna be right majority of the time. You know, you don't want to be buying when the market's weak. You want to be selling when the market is weak. It's really that simple. Like here, this trade on gold, very risky because gold is very, very strong. You should be looking for buys. Bitcoin, very, very weak. You should be looking for shorts, right? So here's another area of interest. Let's mark this out. What did it drive into? 4-hour level, 2-hour level. What is this level? Daily level? No. I think it's 15 minute. Yeah, okay. So yeah, price drive into this 15-minute level here. Ethereum. Cool. And then you see we get nice rejection. So what does it look like inside of that wick? You get an inversion, down close, up close. All right, yeah. So this is the candle. Look, it look at what's happening. You're getting a short literally right now. This candle closed at what time? Candle closed at 10:30. So after 10:30 is where you need a retest. So 10:30 right here. What happens at 11? I'm sorry. What happens after 10:30? Price puts in these internal highs, pushes higher, stabs into your zone, accumulates, breaks. This isn't really much of a breaking structure, so I would maybe wait for price to do something, make an internal high again, then break that low. Then I'm convinced price wants lower. All right, but that's just for the NASDAQ. This is crypto. And this is why back testing is important because each chart has its own thing, right? You could maybe short off of any up close candle from here, right? You have this up close candle, get closed through and retest it multiple times, and you see a nice move from it. You could even try that and then target the low, right? It's crypto. It's going to be slightly different, but the same type of weakness and strength is gonna show no matter what chart you're on. It don't matter what chart you see on the higher time frame. If you know how to read strength and weakness, you're fine. All right. Crypto showing some weakness there. 1 minute chart. We should start showing some rejection off of some of these up close candles. There you go. Let's see here, zone man. Up close candle here. See if price can show some rejection. This is pretty much the biggest up close candle that failed to continue higher. So just watch it for now. It's not really confirmed because you want to see price close strongly underneath it and then push into it, showing resistance and then continue closing lower. That's when that candle is going to be definite for me. So you just wait for now. All right, all right. I would love to see this short, man. Would love to see this short, but you're not really seeing much bearishness on Nasdaq. You see a little bit over here on ES, but not too much. 30-minute chart. As I mentioned, always you pay attention to the bodies, and you see Nasdaq trying to maintain this previous 30-minute body here, wick into it and show strength above it. Now you're like, okay, well, let's see if we can find some. You can't trade it right now. Like, you don't want to get caught up in a fake out. So that's why I like to wait for this 30-minute candle to close with a nice rejection from that previous body. Right now, I wouldn't be able to do anything, but eventually you're going to zoom down into this candle and you're going to say which down close candles offered support for price to go higher. Probably going to be one of these here. That price is breaking right now. It's not showing any break and retest off of any down close candle so far. So once again, there's nothing I can do. I want shorts, right? If I'm bullish, maybe after this candle closes, but I would prefer price to start rejecting here and give out shorts. Let's see if we get SMT here. I've seen this set up before as well. Let's see. All right, nice. So I like what I'm looking at when it comes down to how price is reacting, but there's still no real structure, right? On both charts. NASDAQ looks like pure accumulation. We break this high, we don't maintain this candle body, so I don't care for that. So now I'm looking for price to offer the same type of rejection I'm looking for from one of these bullish candles, something like this, where price breaks underneath it, pushes back, and then we start breaking these lows. Now that price is retesting here, that would be much cleaner. So let's see. Give it a little bit more time. It's 11:17. ES looks very bearish. NASDAQ needs to confirm that, and then I'll be ready to take a trade. All right, so this candle is pretty much showing that it wants lower. This 30-minute candle right now. All right, nice wick rejection. It's basically finishing off what the first candle didn't want to do. So with that, if I get a clean closure underneath here on the NASDAQ, that should open the door for a flush lower. And I'm just looking for a quick scalp because I don't think we're truly that bearish, and price could literally jab into one of these higher time frame gaps, 15-minute gap, maybe even retest this level here and then start to dump. I'm sorry, start to reverse. So 6897.5, 9.5 points on the stop, 10 micros, it's 500. Yeah, 10 sounds good. Because I really don't think we're too bearish. I just want to get a quick scalp here. 9.5 points on the stop, 10 micros, short there at 9.8. uh, 6898.5. Mm. So this one's gonna be pretty much based on the clock. I want to see price get way lower, right? With this candle. If we don't see price extend lower by the time 11:30 gets here, I will probably cut this because I'm only shorting this with anticipation that this candle wants to continue running lower. So if I'm wrong about that, then this next 30-minute candle could open right where it is right now and then start pushing higher than I want to see. Right. And yeah, it looks like we might have to deal with that. Let's see. Where's my EMA? EMA's back there. Yeah, I don't know if I like this. I'm looking for speed lower, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut if it tries to break this EMA. Let's see. 6 minutes left in this candle. If we can't trade lower, that's not a good look. That's extremely bullish, actually, because we break this low, close underneath it. All right, you want to see speed lower. Let's see if we can get that here. If price keeps playing around this area, just cut this and wait for a better trade. Come on, kid. I don't know if this is really gonna go, guys. And let's see. It hits the EMA, fills in this bearish gap. I want to see so much speed lower that it's like not even questionable. This is tough because it seems to be bearish, but why is it not moving lower? I need so much speed lower. And then remember, these 30-minute bodies aren't too far away. Oh wait, yes they are. Come on, kid, just flush for me. The one thing that gets me is this previous support here. Price could use this to go higher. Nasdaq has no support nearby. This is tough, man. We should free fall. If not, I think I'm gonna go break even now. Yeah, I don't like this. Come on, just dump. As soon as I get out, it's gonna start playing bearish. But I gotta play it safe, knowing that the clock is not where I want it right now. All right, yeah, I'm out of that. cut that, and wait for a better setup. Hopefully it doesn't try to run here, but I don't like where price is sitting right now. And we have 4 minutes left until this new 30-minute candle. Yeah, just chill. If this literally dumps right now, I would laugh so hard. All right, good exit though. I'm not even, I'm not worried about this one. Hopefully it doesn't short like literally right now. I'll laugh. But it just looks like price is wasting time for another bullish type of move. Because of this area right here, I'm very, very skeptical. Yeah, price could start using these to climb higher. If you didn't get out, I would say break even for sure right now because something random is probably gonna happen. Yeah, see, price isn't ready to go lower. All right, yeah, good job. 30-minute chart, what do you got for me? It could literally be bearish, but then the next 30-minute candle give you what you want to see. So you just gotta wait here. So trash. But gold remains bearish, right? Higher time frame at least. Nice rejection from 10 a.m. Yeah, I think we just climb higher here. So let's wait for, there we go. You see how this 30-minute candle is about to start closing through this body here? This is what you want to see if you're bullish. This is what you want to see if you're bearish. And then you let that new 30-minute candle confirm whatever price leaves behind. But yeah, overall, good exit there. I really don't like that price is trying to find support here. It may try to go long, but the reason I wouldn't long it is because I would only long above this red line, this previous 30-minute body. I want to see price put structure above here, retest it, all that good stuff, and then I'll be looking for higher. As long as we're underneath here, I'm going to look for short. We're going to have a 30-minute gap right here, which will come in handy. All right, so maybe that's the draw here. Because remember, we still have this candle here that is confirmed that price is bearish from. I think it might try to short off of here, but let's see if the new 30-minute candle can push up. Oh, we have another zone here. Another zone here. Price closes through it, pushes to the high of that candle, fails, break structure, boom, once again. I may short this. If we can get, all right, yeah, this new 30-minute candle, let's see. It's starting right now. I want to see it open higher, man. If it opens higher, that's going to confirm the short. If this 30-minute candle just flushes and starts filling this 30-minute gap, I'm going to start looking for buys. That's probably what's going to happen, kid. Looks like this new 30-minute candle opens right here, right now. And we immediately trade lower as if it just wants to fill in this gap. Yeah. It would have been bearish if this new 30-minute candle could have opened higher, pushed into this, failed a few times, right? And then started breaking lower. I'm all over that short. But starting to look like the shorts are going to dump here, which is, it's not terrible. Because this isn't really the short that I would want anyway. Gap being filled over here. Nice. Man, that's trash, right? The shorts wait until wait until the next 30-minute candle to deliver. But that was a very choppy delivery. Makes me think we're not bearish, right? So hopefully we can get a clean wick from this area here right now, right? And then start climbing back higher. It's only 11:30. I will be on stream until about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock at the latest. But there goes the shorts, unfortunately, without me. But I saved myself some headache here, man. Because this new 30-minute candle could have easily pushed higher right at the open and stopped us out. Here you see the new 30-minute candle open lower. This is a bullish type of signature. So price will run down into here, which is so trash, bro, because I wanted the short. Kid, you could have gave me that short. Price could have delivered literally off of this rejection here. Instead, it wants to be weird, right? So I'm thinking we're bullish. Let's see if we can get price back above. Let's see that hourly body. Yeah, so it's going to be this high up here. We'd love to see price get back above here. Or if we start to print some rejection from this gap, we can start using this previous down close candle for a bullish area of interest if price can climb back above there, which this should wick, right? We should see a decent wick off of this candle. Price climb above here, respect, like that. That's what I would want to see. Gold should be still buried. Yeah, I think gold will probably short all the way down to that weekly open or back to yesterday's open price. Something like that, right? That's what I would expect if we're truly bullish today. Look at these shorts go, kid. Anybody get lucky and hold that short? My goodness. My goodness, there it goes. Right around target area. NASDAQ hitting this previous weekly high. So price should start showing some rejection. Hitting this 10 p.m. price here. I would want to see price start rejecting for sure. Take a look at ES, the higher time frame here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. We have 2 a.m. price near, 10 a.m. under there. Wow. And then you have stuff like this matters, right? This 10 a.m. candle. You have this body where price obviously held. Same thing over here. You got that upper part of the range that could be retested. 10 a.m. candle. Watch this like completely just dump. I'll laugh if this turns into a dump. I don't think it will though. Like this profile doesn't look very bearish. It's like it gave you this subtle short here, but if you ask me, this was strange. This was a strange sell-off. We accumulate, waited for price to print these higher time frame gaps, open a new 30-minute candle, immediately dump down into bullish territory. It's like price is just asking to find support here. It's not really looking for breaks in structure. It's looking for areas of support to bounce off of. This is so lame, kid. And there goes, come on, man. I gotta put this in my notes, bro. What just happened? Hopefully it's just not bearish. This was super lame. I had like a 9.5 stop. So I was up here. I was here. Yeah, it was like this. Extraordinary short. Extraordinary short. And it gave you this lame pop up here for no reason. But the key us as always, right, is time, right? So I don't care that I missed this one. It's just interesting to see that this short actually played out regardless of the power of three, right? So I would be interested to see how long price actually goes bearish. Are we going to get a very, very strong reversal, or is this going to be the start of a sell off? Nice. Very nice. Hope maybe someone held it, but I doubt it. With this candle here, that would have been enough to make me get out. So good job there. Price is officially in bullish territory. And oh my goodness, kid. That's phenomenal. This thing just went 17 points. 1 to 7. RR. 1 to 1.7. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. And now it won't stop. All right, but long story short, you can see where the shorts were coming in at. This was not a secret. The catch is, how comfortable are you shorting? I was not very comfortable shorting off of that structure there. Spotted a clean area, but time threw me off here, right? So now that we see it's only 11:38 and we're extending very far, now this is where I want to see wicks. I want to see price start to wick, showing me that similar to what we saw here, right? We saw this wick rejection, made me investigate the shorts. Here, I need wick rejection around these areas to show me that it's time for a buy. And there goes ES diving into previous 30-minute candle bodies, offering SMT. NASDAQ hasn't hit 10 a.m. yet. I'm going to erase this because price is completely blown through it. All right. Boom, 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 boom. It's not a bad session so far. It's just a bit over exaggerated, right? These buys here didn't want to give you any opportunity. And now you get a short, and the short looks like it's a scam already. It looks like this is simply a rebalancing move, not a trend. So on a pullback, you should expect a break higher, right? If we pull back, you don't want to see this. You're not expecting that, I should say. If it happens, it happens. But what you're expecting is for price to pull back, fail, and then start climbing back to highs. That's what I'm expecting. All right. Let's go to this 2-hour chart here. Beautiful rejection. 20 minutes left in this 2-hour candle. This is nice, kid. This is nice. Hourly candle. All right, so we have this hourly fair value gap. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna lean on these hourly levels here because it's just so much cleaner. So we broke through that one. Yeah, these hourly levels are nice. Very nice, very nice. Right, notice, look at it, right? Look at this. Where did we see rejection here on ES? Pushing directly from where we already saw obvious selling pressure. Price sweeps that high, gives a tiny wick, and look at how much damage was delivered from that area. Excellent. All right, boom, boom, boom. Let's look at the Fibonacci from this move just to see where price is currently trading. Price is still in a premium. A discount would be right at 6 a.m. Very clean. I like what I'm seeing. I'm just hoping for a clean entry opportunity. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for me. But as you could see, a strong close underneath offers Fabulous opportunity for lower, and it hasn't stopped going. Bro, this is so lame, kid. If it would have just opened up at 11:30 right here, this is where the candle opens. If it would have just opened up, tapped into this yellow zone, just one tap, and then turn around and break these lows, I'm short. It was that simple. The same thing that happened here. Tap into this zone, break these lows. I shorted at 11:20. I'm thinking that we're gonna see this type of speed where the whole 30-minute candle starts to speed up. Instead, it waits for the new 30-minute candle, and the new 30-minute candle doesn't even retest. So that's where the red flag is for me. That tells me this is probably not a real short, and it's gonna flip extremely bullish once it finds some sort of support here, if you ask me. And I'm noticing that this down close candle is even better. We close through the high, pull back multiple times, retest this yellow zone. And now look, you're seeing bullish pressure once again from this area. We stab into that fair value gap. We get back above, like I mentioned, this hourly body here. Get back above here, put structure above there. That should be very, very, very clean for higher. So what I'm gonna do here is sit back for the next 15 minutes. I need to see price wick close with the wick here. That would be a-okay. Yeah, cool. Gold still bearish. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a slow grind lower, and then we're gonna get a slow grind higher over here. Ideally, right? Ideally. All right, so in the next 13 minutes or so, I want to see price offer rejection from this area. We don't see rejection and we get a strong body close here. This literally could be the start of a very, very aggressive move back to the lows. So I want to see this candle show some sort of exhaustion or weakness now that we're tapping into this imbalance here. And I want to see price try to get back above this red line here for a break and retest higher. Price is leeching lower. I mean, like approaching 930 open. We do have another level here. Boom, 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 boom. Price could literally fill in the original area of interest. And it looks like NASDAQ is stronger somehow. I don't know how, but NASDAQ made a much, much larger move. We are way up here on the NASDAQ. So I'm going to watch NASDAQ for the buys. Pretty much break even on the short. Really nice signal here from this projection. And now I'm looking and I'm saying, all right, well, price is leaving behind lots of bearish structure here. I need to see a wick. Otherwise, I'm going to start looking at these bearish gaps for a continuation. Whichever ones are in a discount. Yeah. Yeah. And if I go 2 minute, just to make sure that the last up close candle is identified, you can see it here. This is your last up close candle. We close through it. Retest 1 minute chart. Zoom in a little more. So yeah, it's the same area, just a little bit bigger. But this is your bearish profile. So if I'm bullish, right? Let's say I buy here. If price is truly bullish, I'm expecting it to trade all the way back up into here. But for me, I know I have checkpoints along the way. I could TP out right here, you know, or if price gets above here, starts holding this, I can TP out right here. I don't need the high. I just need for price to retest this bearish area. It could show rejection or it could just rip right through it. Either way, the safest target is the start of that move. And then you want to also pay attention to 50% of this bearish move, right? Because if we don't start to wick, I think we are starting to wick a little bit. Yeah, there you go. 10 minutes left. Yeah, if the last 10 minutes can give us a decent wick, then I'm convinced that we should be able to find some sort of bullish structure down in here. But 50% would be here. I want to see how price responds at 50%. All right, cool. You could even watch the 5 minute, see what happens here. Clean up these indicators and see what happens. All right, here we go. Another 30-minute candle closing with no top wick, and it closes very aggressively. So now that puts us in a tough spot here. It's 12 o'clock. I don't want to get over overly ambitious. You know what I mean? Like the market gave us a really strong move higher. We get a really strong move lower, but then we leave so much behind that it's like, okay, we need to pull back, right? Where is price going to pull back from? This is the original zone that we highlighted this morning. So if this doesn't hold up, then I can't buy it for one. For the next scenario, if it rips through here, I don't really want to trade that either because I feel like it's too late to short. Price could pull back at any moment if it feels like it. So this is the last opportunity here for the buyers. I want to see this 5-minute fair value gap hold up. If we zoom down, you're going to see, all right, I'm going to look at NASDAQ because NASDAQ is stronger right now. So you see this red line here. This is going to be important. And I believe it was a 4-hour zone as well. Let me see. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so this low right here, I would love to see some structure above it. Let's see what the hourly looks like off of that level. So this level is not really the best. Let's go 2-hour chart here. Here we go. I like this level here. So you have this down close candle, down close candle. We create this fair value gap. This last down close candle right here is about to be retested, right? So imagine price trying to stay inside of this candle to go higher. You can see that, right? You see price find support in this down close candle, and then we sweep it, close back in the range, and then expand. So I could even mark off this high here. This range right here should be very bullish. I can erase all the lower time frame stuff. I'm gonna go down and refine my area of interest. All right, and then we should be able to find out exactly what's going on here. All right, so this hourly candle closes here. Boom, 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 boom. I want to see an interaction above this candle close that convinces me that price is bullish. We are retesting this area here. Let's see what was in this gray area. So we have down close candle here. That's what price is tapping into. But where's the down close candle that price actually, this is nice right here. I like how we break here, retest, break here, retest. So this area right here would be my exact down close candle. You see how this candle right here, we got wicks up into it, couldn't break it. We break it, pull back into this down close candle body, make this yellow. Pull back into this yellow zone and then continue higher. And now price just tapped into it with beautiful reaction and we barely touch it, right? So from there, I'm looking to see, all right, if we're bullish, we're about to open this new 12 o'clock candle. I want to see 12 o'clock open lower. I don't want to see price do what it just did up here. I want to see 12 open lower, retest this area and show me that it genuinely wants higher after stabbing into here. All right, and then there was a fair value gap somewhere in this area. All right, it's the same area. The yellow marks the fair value gap as well. And then if I refine this lower green area, we should see some sort of down close candle. Nope, everything starts with, yeah. So really this entire zone right here can be yellow. From this candle here all the way down to the lows should be bullish territory. You give it extra space because price could push a little bit lower for no reason at all and then still be extremely bullish, right? So this zone right here is my threshold for buyers to step in, and I'll be looking to fire on the buys as long as the power of 3 rotation is apparent, where we see 12 o'clock right now open lower first. If we start pushing higher, I'll probably look for a short back down into this area, but I would prefer the buys because we're already in this area and I will not be trading after 1 o'clock. So I would love to see a quick buy formation. If we push a little bit higher, it may take a lot more time to actually get what I'm looking for. So this will be my last idea for today. Driving to here, something of this nature right here. All right. And this is what? Let's go take a look. Why is that giant zone there? Oh, okay, yeah. Because yeah, we're bearish underneath here. Underneath this zone, I'll make it red. Or maybe let's go to hourly. Yeah, on the hourly chart, I think we're fine. The 30-minute looks a bit extra. Like I see a bunch of candles that really don't mean anything. Like, what is this candle? Price just ripped right through it. I'm gonna ignore it as well. Go to the hourly, you'll see that, all right, there's one candle here. There's the open, there's the close. Price is underneath it. I like shorts underneath here. But I also like retest, right? So if we can show some sort of strength, I would buy it back up to here and just take my scalp. Boom, 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 boom. This level right here is nice. From boom, boom. Yeah, like right here. You can see price close a bullish candle and then completely reject it multiple times. So this could be used as support now, right? Drive into it and bounce. So yeah, that's it. I like how it's opening lower here. And we're still seeing that bearish move play out on gold. Crypto, what are you looking like? Should be bullish as well. Crypto died. Oh my goodness, look at this short. This short went 1 to 9.5. That's crazy. Did Ethereum offer a pullback? No, it didn't. This was just a breakout type of move here. No pullback either. Free fall. I wonder if there was some type of news event. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I still can't believe this short was so beautiful. This is what I mean when I say the markets are stupid. Like, bro, what was this? The most nonchalant free fall ever. Like, look at this. Stop, chop a little bit, and then you know what? Let's just go, guys. Let's get this over with. Complete free fall. Get out of here, bro. I like this one right here. Notice how bullish price was above here. And then notice how price starts to use it to go lower. And it's right next to that opening price. 30-minute candle body or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this would be my draw. And I like it. Yeah, I like it so far. Hopefully we can get a trade in by 1 o'clock. If not, GG's, decent session. We had one trade idea was here. And I got out at break even essentially. And then now I'm simply waiting for something bullish to happen down in this specific area. Let's go 5 minute. Let's see what this is doing here. All right, there we go. fills the gap all the way on the 5-minute chart. Yes, breaking the gap. Let's see, man. Let's see. We're pushing into this lower gap now. This pre-market 5-minute gap that pretty much created this entire move. That's crazy. Price is all the way back down here. Let's go look at that macro area from this morning. Really didn't get much action. Price just ripped this morning. So 950. Yeah, price is just ripping. There's the first 1-minute gap of the macro. Price is using that right now as well. But as I mentioned, you can't really get your hopes up. Now that price has offered so much movement, this could literally be the end of the range. You get chopped for the rest of the session. Gold isn't showing much life either. So, you know what I mean? Like, let me check on tomorrow's forecast for news. See if there's something big on the table. All right. So we got some decent news tomorrow and Friday. We got PCE data at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then we have PMI data at 9:45 tomorrow. So maybe price is at a standstill here for the rest of the session, which is it's trash, that you have to even consider that type of stuff when you're trading one of the most highly traded, highest volume assets in the world. There'll never be a moment where you're like, oh, I don't want to do anything, right? It's a scam when the market decides it doesn't want to do anything, unless it's like, bank holiday or something of that nature. You would want to see price continue to show speed. Like, if we're bullish, I would want to see price try to rally back to new highs. But unfortunately, in the real markets, the market can decide at any moment that it just doesn't want to go any further. And it could go sideways for hours. And those are the things you want to avoid. Somehow, right? Somehow. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got ourselves some rally action. Let's go. All right. So, what time is it? 12:19. Do I want to give this a stab here? Yeah, we're getting back above here. Yes. All right. So, all I'm looking for is for price on the NASDAQ here. So, let me confirm these lines here. This is going to be, all right, 30-minute line. Yeah. So I just want to see price. I don't need that one. We're not at that level. I want to see price show some strength above this 25,194. All right. And then you have this liquidity here with this higher time frame gap that needs to be filled. 15-minute gap. All right. Yeah. So that'll be the draw. And you can see price already rejecting this red line here, showing us that if we can break and retest, I am longing that. It'll be a long above here, stop down here. And I'm looking for a gap fill like this. So that'll be about 60 points. So my stop would be about 60 points. Bingo. 60 point stop on the NASDAQ will be 4 micros. Maybe go 5 just because I like this setup. Price is way too overextended. We're showing that rejection that I'm looking for. And we still have about 10 minutes left in this candle. So if we can get this break here quickly, I'm going to take it. If we don't break right now, let's say we just chop around for the next 9 minutes, then that is when I will wait for a new 30-minute candle in order to get involved. But I like this reaction. I like where price is reacting, and I like how price was sent into this zone. All right. So those are the confluences that are making me take this idea. As long as, like I mentioned, we can flip above this area here. If you notice before, price was hanging out. So like, for example, let's go look. This candle opened at 9:30 a.m. If you pay attention, let's see what happens after 9:30. Cool. 9:30 falls underneath here. Notice we're not able to get above this candle until about 9:45. And what happens? Price breaks it, shows you a down close candle, not able to get underneath this red line. And then bingo, there goes your buy signal at 9:47. Good time. You can buy that and expect expansion. Same exact profile here. This is what I'm looking for. We opened this candle at 12. All right. So let's go to 12. Price gets up under it. All right, you can see the 12 o'clock stamp here. Price gets up under this level, rejects it, which is, this is important. You want to see price get under it and then show you that it was unable to get above it, right? Similar to this. We got under it and wicked off of it a few times. That is beautiful, because now when we break it, I understand that this level is even more of a clean POI because it's already been mitigated, showed resistance, and then absorbed all of that as resistance, and then now it's going higher. So it's just adding confluence, right? It's not a pattern. It's not set in stone. It's all about strength and weakness. Price is showing strength above this red line here. That's all I'm looking for, and it looks like we're about to get that. So 33 seconds left here. Let's see. Don't run away, please. And then 60 is, yeah, so. Oh, kid. What's ES up to? ES is ripping too, guys. Why is it doing this? Oh, man, 60 points. I'm going to buy this here. I'm going to long that there. 1 minute candle closes. Price entry at 25,216. Target 50 points. Stop 50 points. All right, there we go. And then 25,209. Let me type this up. All right, so here's the next area of interest. I think that was okay, yeah. So that was the down close candle here. You want to see price get above that. That's very important as well. All right, crazy rejection off of that. All right, yeah. I want to see price get above here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got this 1 minute fair value gap here. I want to see this hold. It should hold this gap here. What time is it? 12:26. Yeah. And if price wants to sweep it out, maybe. Okay, yeah, I got my stop well below this low here. Maybe like 55 points. Add an extra 5 points just so I don't have to re-enter if price wants to be weird. But I like the move higher. We're rejecting off of this level, which I would expect rejection, but I also would expect this level right here that we just bought from to hold up. All right, so I'm not too concerned with the rejection off of this red line as long as we can hold this red line underneath. So I'll make this one black as resistance right now. I need to see price get above and stay above here. Zoom in here. All right, so yeah, we have this. Oh well, this fair value gap right here that I would anticipate price to hold. And if price can hold this gap, I want to see price expand very quickly back through this black line here. EMA support. Come on, kid, you can do it. So if you notice one thing here, we need to see price break through this yellow zone. If this yellow zone can't break, I think shorts are going to continue. Simply put, we are stabbing into very bullish territory, and this might not be good, guys. Yeah, I don't think this is good. This is looking extremely bearish now. And it's only because we're about to open this new 30-minute candle that it's like, all right, wow, I think it might get me here. I may have to re-enter, but wow. I want to see this new 30-minute candle respect bullish structure, because if you notice, right, we have 12 o'clock here, 12 o'clock goes 12:30. All right, once 12:30 hits, it's going to be right now. We have a very bearish area of interest right above. Maybe we get SMT off of that low, something. But if you notice, This candle right here, this 30-minute candle just closed with a beautiful drive higher, close underneath it, retest, all that good stuff right there. So this could end up backfiring if price gets underneath here. And that's the chance you take when you wait for a new 30-minute candle. I entered this trade with like 7 minutes, I want to say. Yeah, it was like 7 minutes left in that 30-minute candle. So I was anticipating speed. Instead, we see price tap into here and slam lower. I think I'm gonna just get out of here, guys, and just wait. I'll wait. Yeah, yeah. That's not a good look. If we're gonna go bullish, I want to see price show me that strength. Look at that. As soon as I get out, but I would say exit this. Hold on. Let me type this up. I want to wait simply because I don't like this reaction here. And then look at how price is not giving you that bullishness. We're actually closing underneath the red line here. This could be a short, kid. We flip this. This is gonna be a short, which is trash. But apparently price just wants to keep going lower. You see how we're slowly creeping underneath this red line now after we tapped into this zone? Yeah, it's probably about as short. Yeah. Yeah, I'm chilling here. All right, cool. So this is gonna be it's 1240. I'm looking for a quick move through here. All right, we have this bearish gap. Let me mark this off here. So this bearish gap is what I want to see taken out. Price can't break that, then I just got to give it up because we're seeing both sides of the equation. We're seeing bearish structure, which I really don't want to short way down here, knowing how price is overextended, right? So I'm waiting for those areas to be taken out before I try another buy because I bought it in here. We created this bearish gap. And you can see this gap is holding up for now. And then you have this level right here up above. So I would want to see price do something like this. That'll give me a clear indication that there's nothing stopping price now. So it should expand really quickly. But right here at 1230, right, you see we have this area right here that was created at 12 ends at 1230. Nice bearish rejection. And then you see price open up, push into this level, and then now 1230 hits. So there's a new 30-minute candle, right? I want to see how the 30-minute candle responds inside of this bearish and bullish zone here. I really can erase the higher time frame zone or just pull it down to here because I know we're in a higher time frame zone, right? Yeah, I think we're just bullish. It's caught up on something. I don't know what's holding it back, but looks like price is taking its time because I like that we have this bearish candle here, right? So I'm looking at the closing price, this move right here. I want to see price get above it. You see price push literally right back into that red line and show lots of weakness. However, we're still holding this bullish gap. We're holding 10 p.m. We're holding this down close candle here. All right. So I'm like, all right, as long as that holds, I can't be bearish. I would rather be bullish as well. So if it goes short here, I'm going to miss the short. If it flips bullish, I have to take it. And then that'll be it. It looks like it wants to go. And what I'm using right now for my idea is going to be just breaking bearish areas of interest. There's nothing else bearish in this area. We have this bearish gap and this bearish down close candle right here. Price can get on top of that down close candle, hold it, and show any kind of strength. I'm buying it, expecting price to rally. And then you have some draws above, but that's the game plan. I wish the shorts would be easier to engage with, but let's say you short it, price could sweep this low, give you pathetic risk to reward, something like this. And as soon as it takes a low, it could literally flip bullish. So I don't really care for the shorts. I would much rather see the buys, man. But it looks like the shorts are in control. Maybe price wants to dump all the way back to these lows here, but man, that sucks. Today's just weird. Today's just weird. If this doesn't go bullish, then yeah, I'm okay with pretty much gonna be like half a position size that I lost buying here, like 250 bucks, something like that. And then yeah, I'll leave that alone. It's almost begging you to short it here, but it's like, bro, what are my targets? We've already sold off for literally since 11 a.m. and now it's almost 1 p.m. But this is starting to look very weak. Now we're getting underneath this yellow zone here. Once again, we got up underneath it once, but we wicked back into the zone. If price can start closing through these wicks down here, that will be the first sign that price is about to dump. I would hate this if this is actually bullish and it just won't go anywhere right now, because I will not be trading after 1 o'clock. But you can see, right? You can see what's actually going on. So that's a win in itself. You don't want to be lost when you're on the charts. We can see that this was a very bearish area. I can make it red, whatever. Very bearish area, which made me second guess my buy because of how price responded. I wanted to see price start to rip through this level. Instead, we see strong rejection, print this bearish gap, and then now you're seeing the bullish structure pretty much get absorbed, right? Every time price taps into it, it's failing to make a new high. And then you would honestly consider this to be a short signal. But the catch is, where do you short it to? So that's why I won't take this. I would hope for some sort of manipulation to go higher, man. All right, we're getting SMT off of this level, equal lows on ES, SMT on the NASDAQ. You would want to see price literally just start flipping through all of this. If not, we'll be back tomorrow. 30-minute. All right, so just look at what's actually happening, right? These candle bodies work together, whether you notice it or not. We ripped through here, but on the way up, every single transition happened right about here. The best structure was located right here, right here. No retest there. We ripped through it all, and now you're seeing that transaction take place here, where it's like, okay, if price is bearish, it's probably going to hold somewhere in here. That's exactly what we're seeing. And then you're starting to see, all right, this candle right here has a body. And look at the structure up in there. It's really tense in this area, right? Which is why I wanted to cut my trade and just wait for price to break away from this zone. It looks bullish once again. You see how we keep holding this? It just makes you wonder, like, okay, what's the holdup? What is stopping price from doing this right here, right? This is all I want to see. Get above this down close candle and this bearish fair value gap. Retest it, whether it's this one or this one. Show any kind of rejection, and I'm gonna buy it. This is crazy, kid. Keeps doing the same things over and over, just wasting time. Yeah. All right, but yeah, it's starting to look like maybe it's just not going anywhere. But it's too weird in here to short it. Like, I just don't feel comfortable shorting this for good reason. But yeah, this is starting to look like bloodbath. So we have this up close candle here. See if price can use this up close candle to make its move. I don't know why I don't like that color yellow. There we go. So this zone is bullish, right? The only reason I'm watching this zone is because we have this down close candle. Price rejects the body of it, closes through it, pulls back to the low, right? If we look at the exact low, look at how price is responding off of this low. 10 p.m. right below it is another backup. So I'll bring 10 p.m. into it, and you'll see this is very, very strong, right? You see clear resistance. Now you need to see the resistance actually break something bearish, and that just doesn't seem to be happening. Who knows? Maybe we're about to see a big move. Maybe we're about to see more chop for the rest of the session. Who knows? Not my job to really decide on that. It's just my job to draw up a decent trade idea. And these buys are starting to look better and better. So I want to be ready here. Let's see. How many points would this be? I don't want to have too big of a stop so that I can start taking profits up in these areas. Maybe 50 points max. Yeah, 50 points max. And not even, bro, 45. Something like that. We get above this bearish candle. I wouldn't expect price to get back below midnight. Put my stop around that 10 p.m. price. Aim for 45 points. Call it a day. But today's starting to look like a scrap day, trash day. Price didn't really want to do much. We pushed up into bearish territory, sold right back down, right? This is why it's easier to take the shorts, right? Higher time frame is so bearish. When you get a short signal, look at how many points it gives you. And then look at this. We're fighting for our life to get a buy signal here. It's crazy. I would much rather short, but you just can't short it down here. Look for some gap fills. Got this 1 hour gap right here. 30-minute gap. 15-minute gap. So I think price should fill that in eventually. If not now, then when, right? So let's see. We're back into this area, back above this red line. I'm thinking 45 points on my stop, which would be 6 micros. I'll go 7. And I'm always ready to get out early if price doesn't want to start showing that delivery that I'm looking for. So I don't have to wait for price to hit my stop loss to cancel this trade. There we go. Good speed here. All right, I think I'm gonna. This is tough. It'll get you to buy this, and then it'll put you right in drawdown. I gotta wait. 1252. Let's see if price can give us a closure. Ideal entry price somewhere around 25,224. And I see this is lame, but we should see some rejection from this level here. There we go. Yeah. We should see more rejection from this red line. And then I want to see price still offer a good close. Yeah, this is going to be solid. 25,226. And then I'm looking for 45 points. And that'll be 6 micros. ES catching up here. Nice. So ES much further ahead here. Let's check the 30-minute. I don't want to rush into this, but all right, yeah. So once price starts showing strength above this red line here, I like it for higher. There goes your close through. Let's get a retest, please. Let's get a retest, my guy. All right, yeah, it looks like we're not gonna get that. Showing some strength above here. We retested the top of this bearish candle. I'm gonna long this. Oh, I'm back, kiddo. Oh, don't do it. It's gonna do it, guys. It's gonna do it. We retested the top of this bearish candle slightly. Oh my gosh. Don't do it. Don't do it, kid. Land back lower one more time. And I am long with the 45-point stop. Oh my goodness. Give us one drive lower here. Come on, you're almost there. You can do it. You can do it. I feel like it should pull back, man. We're leaving a 2-minute gap. 5-minute gap, maybe. Just pull back, kid. Is this a 5-minute unmitigated? No, that's not an unmitigated gap. Okay, there we go. All right, yes, there we go. Let's see, I'm long there. 45 points on the stop. Like I mentioned, this red zone is my kill zone. I don't want to see price get too comfortable underneath here. And I want to see 45 points. Hopefully it just rips. I just don't want to see price hanging out down here. I like it simply because ES broke this bearish territory as well. We tapped into bearish territory multiple times, and yet we maintained our bullish structure. And then now here we are above this bearish candle, above that 30-minute level. I would love to see price use one of these levels to absolutely expand with very little hesitation. All right, and we have some bullish gaps down below that could be filled. I didn't want to miss this trade, so if it does want to fill those gaps, I'm okay with that. This is pretty much my line in the sand where I can get out. Potentially, if price starts getting too deep into this level, I'll be looking to get out of that. All right, gap fill up here, right? Let's see, hourly. We're about to form a new hourly candle open here. Maybe I'll rest into it, but at the same time, we've seen price spend a lot of time in this area, so I'm anticipating something similar to what we saw up here, where price just opens a new 30-minute candle and tries to run away. I would love to see that 1 o'clock candle expand with some speed. That's that high there. We already mitigated most of these areas. All right, crypto still chilling. That's over there doing that. All right, zoom in here, get some popcorn, see if we can get this to politely deliver, right? We're not asking for much. We're literally trading really clean price action right now. We're just asking for a clean expansion without having to revisit this area. That's the catch, right? You don't know if price wants to be clean or choppy. There we go. That's a nice move there. Let's see if we can run, keep going. ES is filling in this gap. I would hope that that's not the end of this move. There we go. Good move. Good timing. We just need to follow through here. No more rejection. Let's check the 30-minute chart here. Yeah, 30-minute gap sitting right there. 15-minute gap right there. There we go. There we go. Take this high for us. Come on, don't stop right there. ES pushing into this gap. Let me go look at ES because that could be a problem. We're taking that 30-minute high. I need to see NASDAQ take that high as well. It's almost there. If we can get that high on NASDAQ, we should be good. And I don't want it to flip on me, though. We are in bearish territory, guys. I just don't understand how ES takes this high, bro. NASDAQ was leading the way all morning. And now NASDAQ's falling behind. I need NASDAQ to catch up here, guys. I need NASDAQ to catch up here. Not bad, but go ahead, finish the job. You got this 1-minute bullish gap here. I need all this stuff to hold up. It's cool if you want to fill the gap, but just don't hang out here very long. There you go. Go ahead, show us you want higher. This is tough, man, because I could get out here, but we haven't taken this high. I noticed how strong price wanted to go lower here, failed to go lower multiple times, right? Kid, I don't know. This always makes it tough, bro. When they switch like this, like where NASDAQ was leading and then now ES is taking out highs, I can't even properly manage this trade right now. Oh my goodness, kid. I know I don't want to lose this trade though, so I think I'm gonna just cut this at break even, man. And it's gonna stop me at break even, and then, but I just can't. I can't do this. Yeah. Now it's gonna force you to hold it. It's like, hold this loss. Let's go straight for your stop loss. Man, this sucks, bro. It's so hard to manage when they do stuff like this. unless you just go break even and you're happy with break even, I'm not the type to like break even trades. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, that's dirty, guys. 1 o'clock is right here, right? Oh, we just opened this 1 o'clock candle, so maybe we get some support here. I'm just giving this a chance at this point. I can't sit here and be extremely protective over certain ideas. This idea was beautiful. Targeting this internal high here. And if this level can hold up, the trade is still valid, which is why I didn't want to go break even. In case price just wants to tap into this level one more time and then continue, but that's the risk you take, right? When you let price pull back like that. And there goes more shenanigans, bro. I cannot believe this. Why is it doing this? Oh, stopped. And that's that. Worst trade of the year so far for me. We flip NASDAQ from being the stronger one. Oh my goodness gracious. That's dirty. All right, let me draw this up. I don't even want to look at the charts anymore here, because if that's the case, ES would have been the proper asset to buy. But how in the world am I supposed to know that? This is ridiculous. Just look at ES, right? Look at the price action. We never take this 930 low. ES takes it out easily. Way down here, right? You get a bullish indication. Somehow ES is able to beat NASDAQ into the gap. Where was the confirmation here? We break and retest here, yeah. So like somewhere in here, you get the confirmation. ES gives you 10 points with a 9-point stop if you're covering the lows. And then absolutely melts. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, kid. These markets are way too bearish, man. There's no point of buying anything. Look at it. All right, yeah, so looks like I just bought the wrong one. Target hit on ES. I should have went break even. I feel like I'm always going to struggle with that because I'm just not a break even trader. I just feel like it causes you to second guess yourself way too many times. Like you get stopped to break even, then you get back in and you get stopped to break even again. You might give up on a trade that was about to expand. So I don't like to trade at break even unless I see threats, right? I didn't see any reason for price to return until now. Now you get that confirmation that, okay, maybe this was just a sweep for SMT. But I wouldn't have known that until we start breaking through this bullish area. So now I know I should have gotten out, but in the moment, I don't think I would have gotten out ever. But in reality, we did hold this zone, bro. That's the tough part. In reality, we did hold this bearish zone here. We got above the red line. We respected all of this down here. If I zoom in, you'll see it, right? We respect this bullish area all the way up until 1 o'clock, essentially, right? So anything before 1 o'clock would not have told you to look for shorts. You'd have been looking for this to hold up because we tap into here and it could still hold up, right? But we tap into here, pull back, show that this area wanted to be held, pull back again, shows that this area wants to be held, and breaks out. Once we break above this down close candle, all I need is a retest of that down close candle, which we saw right here, and then try to run with a clean drawn liquidity this high, right? Clean draw, but we have SMT off of that high, so maybe price never wants that high. It's just tough for me because some stuff is really stupid, bro. Why would Nasdaq fail to take out this high if Nasdaq is much stronger? Right? That question right there is going to drive me crazy. So I'll just leave it at that. There's no good reason for this to happen the way it just happened, right? And then you see what's happening here. Price is literally breaking structure again. Right? We close underneath these lows, but only on the 1 minute chart. So if I go up on these charts, you're going to start seeing wicks in this area. And imagine price ends up going bullish again. It's like, okay, buddy. Yeah, I just take it for what it is. And I will pretty much be back tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow has a decent amount of news. This is tough. I'm wondering, like, why would we climb above here so clean just to leave this high? $12:30, 1 o'clock hits here. Yeah, it's either price isn't going anywhere or it's bearish, right? If I look at 12:30, remember this is where all the bearishness came into play. And then looking at 12:30 to 1 o'clock. So we close. Yeah, bro, this is nice. Yeah, I would be looking for a bullish move. The sad part is this candle decides to open lower. I think that's all that's happening. Up here, how we saw price, the same reason I didn't take the trade, right? Same reason I didn't take the trade here where I was gonna wait for 11:30 to open higher and then short. It never did that. All right. So here, what I did was 12:30 closes. This is where we get that bullishness and bearishness. I want to see how price responds the next 30 minutes. And over the 30 minutes of this candle, you see price give 100% bullish reactions. So I'm anticipating, all right, this candle right here, I can buy it right here at 12:54, anticipating that we've already retested, right? I gave price 30 minutes to retest. If it needs longer than that, then all right, I get it. I would have to take another stab, but it's after 1 o'clock. However, I did wait for 12:30 to give me a level, and then I waited about 28 minutes for price to show us which way it wants to retest. We cleared all bearish structure inside of this 12:30 candle. So that right there is telling me this could try to fill this area right here, right? I'm not taking a massive trade here. I'm taking literally a scalp into here for about 45 points with a tight stop, right? So you can be wrong here, right? You can still get stopped here because there's no speed. I'm anticipating speed with this move. So if there's no speed, I know I could lose that trade. Cool. Here, the trade is still alive because we're still in bullish higher time frame structure. This is all bullish. The 1 minute may have given you some chop, but that's just the 1 minute chart, right? So now if you're looking for a buy, it would be 1 o'clock opens lower, sweeps out the early buyers. Now let's see if price wants to start flipping these bearish zones here. This is so lame, bro. Because imagine that at 1:15, this just rips. This is so lame, kid. But I just don't care enough. Yeah, I'd rather better conditions because the moment you think this is gonna go higher, it's probably gonna go right back lower. It's been sitting in this area since 12 o'clock. Yeah, I'm chilling. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Drop this in the chat. Not a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea here. It just didn't play out. Stops under here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, not a terrible idea. So I'm gonna leave it here. I just don't want to get too overly ambitious with price, right? That's one of the things I need I need to work on. This type of stuff can make you think that it's about to expand and then it won't. All right, cool. That's that. Boom, boom, boom. Screenshot this. Copy. And we'll be back tomorrow. Today's gonna be a red day, first red day of the week. Let's see if we can finish this week strong, you know? Don't want to really force anything in these conditions here. If anything, you should probably be looking to short. I don't know why the shorts are so dominant, but you get these random dumps compared to the bullish ideas right now. So yeah, I would be looking to short if you want to trade. I don't want to trade this. All right, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna drop this in the chat. Back at it tomorrow. Hindsight, just looking at today, like what really went down. I missed this one, but I don't consider it a miss. It was just more of a break even type of trade. This buy right here, perfectly fine. Just didn't want to get caught up in a sweep. I thought we waited it out, right? I gave price another 30 minutes to show some type of break and retest. Finally get that break and retest. So I'm expecting that next 30-minute candle to use potential bullish fair value gaps or order blocks in here somewhere to go higher. And I was wrong. It slices through it. And then now it's pretending like it wants to be bullish again. So you just gotta run away from these types of sessions and survive for the good sessions. All right. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow, 9:45. Take care. God bless as always. Later. Oh my bad. Yeah, I saw your note. Higher time frame is crazy bearish. It's just a game of like give and take. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was patient enough to let the sellers have their way. But at the same time, price isn't gonna go straight down all day. So you just draw up something that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like don't be too hard on yourself on these charts because sometimes the markets are literally just not going anywhere. Like you may feel like, oh man, I could have caught this, but in reality, bro, the chances of you catching a move that's not going anywhere, it's tough. What'll happen is maybe later on, like PM session, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, maybe you start getting some more volume then. But right now the market is literally chilling. And I wasn't willing to short down here, so I was hoping that all of the short pressure would be exhausted. I waited literally for about from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. I gave price an hour to confirm every level that I was looking at. And if you look, the levels are still valid. We have this bullish flip here, and then you get another bullish flip above this red line, which is where I was anticipating price to hold above. We get back underneath it, but now look, price right back above this red line. Now it's rejecting off the red line. So it's like, sometimes the market is just stupid and then it doesn't want to pay out, which is fine. But the key is to just ignore these type of days because I think this is the first time this year where price chose to literally just stop moving in the middle of the New York session. Lately, it's been pretty solid. It's been giving you expansions for the entire session for the most part. All right, so like here, you get this move up. It fills in the area of interest, right? I only took this buy yesterday because I wanted to see price fill in these gaps or these areas here. Fills them perfectly, and then you get the short for the rest of the day. Beautiful. Here, we haven't even filled in. Oh, this is ES. ES does fill it in. So ES does fill in the target. Like I mentioned, if I would have bought ES, I would have TP'd out up in this area. Understanding that this could go wrong. Like if price stabs into here, it could go bearish. However, I was not anticipating NASDAQ to fail. I was anticipating NASDAQ to beat ES, and that's what cost me today. Something that simple, right? I can't really get too up or down based on stuff like that. Only thing you can do is trade the stronger asset. The stronger asset is clearly NASDAQ today. Find the target, look for NASDAQ to hit that target, TP out at that target, call it a day. Today, for whatever reason, ES decides to snake the TP. Crazy. It happens, but it's laughable, when that type of stuff happens. But we'll see. I'll check back later tonight and we'll see if this level ends up holding up. If so, I will give myself credit. If I'm wrong about this level, the next time maybe I'll go break even, if I see the weaker pair take the high before NASDAQ and then completely crumble. But if this level holds up here and we end up making new highs all the way up in here, then I'm just going to count this as an anomaly. This is scam activity. I can't predict when that's going to happen. I just have to stick to the plan, right? My plan would have been break this red line, retest some down close candles, show strength. We got exactly that. So I'm going to buy that every time. Cool. So I hope everyone just made it through today. Don't feel like you have to be the best trader every single day. You just have to manage the weird days and take advantage of the good days, So rest of the week is on the way. Thursday should be a lot more volume. Looks like we got majority of our volume right at the open. And now price is just exhausted. But take care as always. I'll see you guys tomorrow.